He's making history with each new find in Tom's world every time. Tom's on the hunt. Tom's on the prowl. With a can in hand and a curious plan. World secrets to be found in Tom's world now. Tom's World How.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's up, Chris Mallon? What's up, Kate? How are you two tonight? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, here we are once again, and it's this is Tom's World Live, and we're just hanging out, shooting the stuff, as I said. So that's me kind of. I mean, I know it kind of goes without saying, but I have to explain it. Instead of saying shooting the the curse word, and I won't say it on here because I mean it's not beyond me to say it by all means, but hey, Lori, what's going on? Always a pleasure to have you here. How's the new shirt look? I'm curious to get a review to see how cool it was. Kate says very cool video today. Thank you. I have another one, as I said in the description here. I do have another one in the chamber ready to go. Well, not ready to go. I haven't edited it yet, but I did the hard part. I recorded the video, and I'm getting texts from my uncle Tom, my grandparents' adopted son Tom. Known him since he was 2 years old. And it's weird that he's younger than me and he's my uncle, but whatever. We deal with these things. He's like 10 years younger than me, but yeah, it's what was I saying? I kind of branched off, had a squirrel moment, but no, the video was very cool. And the next one coming up, see here, and here he is, Tom Gertner. That's my uncle Tom. What's up, Jeep Girl? How you doing? MB, what the heck is MB? Mib. Yeah, you liked it? Cool. I'm so glad you liked it. What's up, Tom? How you doing? Yeah, in the very beginning of the video, if you go back and watch the replay, you'll hear my text messages going off. That was you. No, it's cool. You didn't know. I didn't say anything to you, It's all good, man. It's all good. Let me bring up my comments tab here so I can see them all. There we go. I mean, even though I can see them right here, I prefer to look at them where I'm used to looking at them. Where I can just like bring things up if I want to, like that. But yeah, the next video that's going to come out, I'm not sure what day I'm going to release it. I just decided that since there was a location not far from the Nike missile base that I went to, or the Nike missile battery, as it's called, that I would do this other location that somebody had mentioned to me, because before I left, I decided to look up, how far apart they were from each other, because I kind of had a feeling they were close together, and it was only like 10-15 minute drive. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go do the other one too. You're chilling, still at work. Hey, we all got to put our time in, right? I mean, mine is Tuesday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that's what I do. And I do a lot harder stuff than I've ever done before in any other job. Physically taxing, anyway. I mean, it's not that bad, but when it gets really, really hot out there, it's not fun. The video you shared in comments really added to the video. Yeah, somebody sent that to me. I did go looking because somebody did say that they saw a video about it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, well, And then somebody sent it to me in one of the comments, and I was like, oh, cool. So I went and I watched that, and I said, you know what, I got to add this to the comments and pin it to the top of the comments so everybody sees it when they come in. Yeah, I do have them somewhere. They're either on this computer or my laptop. But I mean, you can still, even in Street View, you can go back in time and see the prior photos that they put up in Google Maps on the Street View too. So I'll be able to get them one way or another. I'm sure it does get hot in the warehouse. So I worked in a couple warehouses. It's They get really really cold in the winter and really really hot in the summer, and it depends on what's going on in the warehouses. I mean, if it's just like an Amazon type thing, then it's not as bad as some warehouses that can have like machinery and stuff running that gives off its own heat. Um, you tried all the time points. I'll have to look. I have on my computer. I have Google Earth, and I think you can control things a little bit more on there. And I will have to see if I can go back. Um, yeah, I've never known it to skip over the house. It's weird. I'll have to look after I get done my live. Like it could be you, man. You don't know. First beer, love that sound. So, so yeah, that the Nike missile battery base, whatever, that was pretty cool. And if you go back into the comments, for those of you who haven't watched the video, in the very first comment, the one that's going to be at the top, um, there you go. There you go, Tom. In the very first video or the comment in the top, there's a link that I put in to another video that shows what that Nike missile base looked like when it was operational, and it gave some insight into what I saw there. I wish I had seen that video before I went there, but yeah, it was really cool to even see it afterwards, because it was like, oh wow, I was there, and yeah, look, there's those things on the ground, and there's this and that, and then I did find out where the radar building was. It's about a mile away, maybe more, up Twining Ford Road, and but it still exists. The building is still there. The radars are all gone, and I'm sure that they gutted the entire building. But somebody did say in a comment, I don't know if it was on Facebook or on the YouTube video itself, but they had said that they remember when they were really young that their dad had taken them and their siblings to the inside of one of those radar rooms. It may not have been this one specifically, because there were a few around in the area, but they got to see the inner workings of it, which would have been really cool. Noah's here. What's up, brother? I guess you wrapped up your live stream. I didn't say that just to make you wrap it up. I just happened to be killing time in the last 10 minutes before I went live, and I saw you were live. I was like, oh no, that means he won't make it. But here you are. A staple to the Tom's World live experience. Noah and Kate and Chris Mallon, pretty much, and Lori and Jeep Girl. They're all always here. Everybody's always here, and you guys are awesome. I love that you come here and you get to hang out, and that I get to hang out with you. It's a very very cool thing. Okay, well, I'm glad you were getting towards the end anyway. I wasn't trying to rush you. I felt bad when you're like, oh well, I'm just about wrapping up. I'm like, no, 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 you don't have to wrap up just for me. I wasn't trying to lay a guilt trip. What's up, Michael? How you doing, Mike? So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun going there, and the other location was very neat. I can't wait for you guys to see that video. Very relaxing spot. With I can leak a little bit about it. We'll say it's a bridge, and it actually still is there, and it's made of metal. And somebody had told me it goes back to the 1800s. So, and they're talking about bringing it down. Um, it's not in use currently to drive over or anything. There's barricades and stuff, but it's very cool, and it was a neat experience, and it was different doing two videos in one day. I'll say that. I came home and I had to sort out the files. Like I downloaded the files from the phone to the computer, and then I had to separate them out. Be like, put this one here in that folder, that one there in that folder, and Chanel, what's up? Love you too, man. Hope you're doing good. I hope everything's going well. Dad's treatment is still chugging along. Um, he's just been getting things to like chemo and stuff to maintain levels, basically, because they elevated a little bit, but not dangerous levels. So they're just trying to curb that at this point. But but yeah, hope you're doing well with everything there. Um, been a minute since we hung out. And I also heard some news come down about a mutual friend of ours who we met through Chanel, that they may have come down with some type of illness like that as well. But I no longer really talk to that friend because, well, they just kind of wrote me off. So you know, life moves on. But yeah, never a happy thing to hear when people have to go through things like that. Better than before. They've been tweaking the numbers. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, because it's like blood and marrow related. It's kind of the same beast or same type of beast as, like, say, diabetes. While they are two totally different things, they can be unpredictable with their levels and their numbers and stuff like that. And I mean, while I may have not had to go through any of that, I've had to vicariously go through what he's gone through, especially when they do the bone marrow biopsy. That does not seem like something I'd want to do. What's up, Nomestead? What's going on? Michael says, hello, everyone. Just checking in real quick from work before I have to have a few new Trial State light beers at the Humeville Inn. Well, man, if I could, I'd drive out and have a couple with you. I really would. But once I get done this live feed, I do have things I got to do. The trash has to go out. It's not going to take itself out. And I do have to be up at 5:30 in the morning because tomorrow's the first day of work for the week. So, it's otherwise, I'd be right there with you, man. We could be having beers. We could be talking about stuff, shooting the stuff, as it were. And I think that'd be cool. I've been told I'm a very cool person to hang with and have some beers with. Speaking of which, so for those of you who do follow my Facebook, I'll get to that in a minute, Kate. For those who do follow the This Is Tom's World Facebook, you might have noticed that on Saturday I posted some pictures. I was over at Nick's Roast Beef Woodhaven, and I was watching my friend Paul, and he was playing with his band Old School, and that was really cool. Got to hang out and see that. Like, me and Steph, we hung out, we watched that, we had a good time. And as I was leaving, I went over. They were between songs, so I said goodbye to Paul. And as I reached the door, I hear the lead singer say, "Tom Nally's leaving." I turn around. I'm like, "Yep, I'm out." I think you answered your own question, Kate. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that we couldn't play. Um, we just wouldn't be able to go live because I don't have a second screen. I tried to, excuse me, I tried to figure out a way to use my laptop as a second screen, but because my laptop has, I think it has Windows 8 in it, and my computer has Windows 10. There's something I just can't get them to communicate, and it won't take it as a second screen, which kind of sucks. But uh, I'm like Elvis. How am I like Elvis? Wait, where's the? Let me look at see your prior comment. Hey, Tom, and then Do I have? Oh, I'm seeing now. Do you have any drone footage? No, I don't actually. I do not own a drone. So, yeah, Kate. If Nick's in, we can always do that. I'm still confused. How am I like Elvis? Oh, I got you now. Tom has left the building. Hey, Anthony, what's up? Yeah, it was really cool being there. I enjoyed that experience. It was different, especially with the second elevator where I could actually see. Like if there weren't people all around playing basketball, I probably would have laid down on the ground. But otherwise, I would look kind of silly. But I would have probably laid down on the ground and tried to get my phone in there as much as I could. Um, but it wasn't that far of a drop, and it looked like another set of bay doors that was down there. Like it looked like the same type of mesh metal kind of thing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It really would be cool to go down there and check it out, though. Just even if there's nothing down there, just to see it. But I don't think that will ever happen. Micah Rambo says that sounded like I said Micah Rainbow, but that's not what I said. I said Michael Rambo says theater was mobbed the past 4 days. Oh yeah, because of Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, of course. Movie made over 200 million in the U.S. and 400 million worldwide. Man, and that's why I'm going to wait to see it. I have patience. I can wait. I'm sure it'll be streaming online somewhere. I'm sure it's a much better experience in the theater with the surround sound and all that stuff. But hey, I'll be happy just to see it. I don't know where Nick is. He hasn't been on one of my live streams. Was he on here last week? I don't know if he showed up last week. But if he didn't, then he hasn't been on one of my live streams in the chat for at least a few weeks. Easy. But but yeah, that second video that's going to come out this week at some point. Um, and if it doesn't, it'll definitely come out on next Monday. But I'm going to see about putting it out sooner. Michael says I've been inside a launch control facility of a Minuteman missile factory or facility out in Minna AFB, North Dakota, back in the early mid 1990s. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's some things that you like that we see as we're growing up. It's like, man, if only we had these back then instead of having to lug around that big VHS camera that everybody's grandfather had and everything. Nick is pickled. He might be. You never know. I don't know. For those of you that are here that watch the different streams and stuff that we do with BB3 and Things Network and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody caught the live stream last night on Don Elmy's channel of me, Kate, Don, and Nick all playing Minecraft. But that was pretty fun. I changed the skin that I had on there to be Rick from Rick and Morty, and you know, it was definitely fun. We all kept messing with Nick. We kept like boxing him into places and walling up entrances he went through and stuff. It was fun. We all had a good time. Although Kate was trying to do it to both me and Nick at one point, but yeah, I ain't having that. I was getting out of there. I was like just weave in and out of the wall she was building. But it was a good time. We always have a good time when we play games, just like when we play golf. Um, to which, I mean, technically, I could go live on BB3. I just wouldn't be able to see any of the comments. So, um, yeah, I don't know how that would work. Uh, unless I could find the charger for the tablet that I have, I might be able to. I might be able to see comments that way if I just like tune into the live feed and yeah, I don't know. Not sure. And I see I just got a new notification on Facebook. Somebody commented on my video in the Bucks County History group. Said I used to go by on my way to junior high over there. Talking about the Nike Missile Battery PH-07, Richboro, Northampton Township, Bucks County. Um, yeah, right. You don't know Kate. She has walked by and smacked us with her shovel and stuff too. I'll just be walking and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, what the heck was that? Check out the abandoned homes in Warminster. I would love to. I definitely would, and I know where you're talking about. You're talking about um, up by like Easton Road and County Line, and like county between County Line Street Road. I know exactly the ones you're talking about. The issue is that it is very much private property and against the law to trespass there. So I cannot do that on my channel, which stinks. But yeah. Oh yeah, that must have been another Kate. That's what it was. Yeah, and I'm sure they do have security running around in there too. Um, but it definitely will be cool because I've seen other videos where people snuck in there and did it like from years ago. I don't know what it looks like now, but um, it's next to the airbase. Yeah, which is on 611, like what was that 611 County Line area or something like that. Oh, they're all gone. They tore them down. Wow. There's a couple towns that are just like abandoned. There's over on Western PA. There's a town out near Pittsburgh, and I can't remember what it's called. And I think I talked about it last week. And it's got the name. It's got the word yellow in its name. I think somehow. It's like a whole like little community that um, my mom is calling me. No doubt to talk about the video that I uploaded today. So I'll have to text her once she's done calling. But there's yeah, and the houses are all still there. And last I saw in videos, they were actually somebody was still tending to the lawns, which is weird. Let me text mom real quick. Find the last text that I sent to her. There it is. Uh, Doing a live feed on my channel. Can call you when I'm done. Unless you tune into this in that time. I mean, my live feeds are pretty much every Monday around somewhere between 7:30. Um, I mean, that doesn't stop people from calling other than my mom. I'm not talking about my mom. There's somebody else who likes to call me a lot when I do my live feeds. And he knows who he is. I guess she left me a voicemail. Yeah, she did. Well, I get caught up in all the notifications. I just got to erase them all. She left the voicemail, but she hadn't seen the text message yet, so she's probably looking at it right now. And then maybe before you know it, she might start commenting in here. You never know. And then for those of you who had not met my mom, you can kind of meet her sort of in the chat if she comes on. She just said okay. So you never know. She might pop in. But I've been asked quite a bit by people in different comments and even in messages on my Facebook for This Is Tom's World. Are you going to go check out this Nike Air Base. Are you going to go check out that one, this one, that one? Some of them, they tell me exactly where they are, and I go to Google Maps, and there doesn't seem to be anything there. Um, I guess in a lot of cases, they just totally destroyed them and got rid of them. Let me go check on the comments here because I've been kind of not looking at them because I'm a bad host. Let's see. Bristol Road near Hatboro Road. Wait. See, now it just went up, so I missed it. It's Bristol Road near Hatboro Road is next to the airbase. Yep, the airbase homes are gone. So I did see that one. Weren't those military houses? I believe they were. I saw them from the park trail and a hole in the fence. Oh, cool. So they might still be. Some of them might still be there. Maybe they got rid of some of them, but some of them are still standing. Yeah, well, they were run down even when I saw the video from like 10 years ago, or may have been more. Um, is Pennsylvania a strategic place to have a missile base? Furthest point or something? I'm surprised they like. Well, see, the Nike air bases were strategically placed, but Pennsylvania wasn't the only place. What they were figuring was going to happen because this was during the Cold War, so they figured that the Soviets were going to come like over Canada and into us, and they figured out like where they would likely hit. So they put these different Nike missile bases, Nike Airjacks, Nike Ajax missiles are what they used, and basically what they did is it didn't have to come into contact with the plane. It had a blast radius, so it would go near where a plane or planes were, and it would blow up, and it had like a blast radius that would like totally annihilate everything within it. So they placed them strategically, and they had hoped that would help, and the local schools around these air bases or around these missile bases, they would go through drills where the kids like practice, where the kids would just like go under their desk and crouch down. Like that would have stopped if a bomb was dropped. And maybe it just made them feel better. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was there, but like a little metal and wooden desk isn't going to shield you from a bomb. But but they did do stuff like that. Let's see, I did find that light on the tree. Oh, okay. Are you the one that messaged me about that? Yeah, yeah. And that was where I guess in the early years of the park, there was a house there, and I guess that's where the main security person stayed, a ranger or whatever they had at the time. The Warminster AB homes at West Bristol Road and Orion Street are leveled, just cement pads. Much like the 1950s when we were scared of the Russian attacks. Exactly. That's the Cold War. Yep. 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 All right. I am caught up on comments. This is awesome. And there's 15 of you in here. You guys are freaking awesome. I love that. I loved looking up and seeing that number. It's rare that I see it in the double digits. And, that's a very cool thing. And then as soon as I said that, it went down by one. That's funny. Ben Franklin's house across from the Chamonix Mall. Well, I know not far from the Chamonix Mall is Groudon Mansion, which he did spend some time at, but only because I think it was his son was friends with the Groudon's son, or whatever the family's name was that lived in Groudon Mansion. And supposedly that's where the infamous kite with the key and the electricity thing happened, even though people always depict it happening in Philadelphia. And that's in Ben Salem. And you never knew Neshaminy Falls had an amusement. Yeah. How about that? I didn't either. And I went there as a kid. that right at the falls on the opposite end of where I was. There was like a little area, and I think it had a barbecue and everything like we have at Neshaminy. I seem to recall that when I was really young. And then as I got a little older, but still very young, I can remember going there with people, and we would jump off of the falls into the water, which was very dangerous to do, but we did it anyway. And there was a rope swing there that we went on at night. Sometimes we'd go out there until I felt something swim into my shorts and then out of it, and then I got out of there, and I never swam in there again. But yeah, that was a really cool experience finding that information out. I mean, I did the two videos on there. There's one that I did in recent times, but there's another one that I did a couple of years ago, or a few no, yeah, well, almost 3 years ago. We'll say like 2.5 years ago, and that was my initial trek back there, and it was a place I wanted to try to get to because I knew of it, and I do want to try to get to all the different waterfalls along the Chamonix Creek. There's one not far, or it might be part of Tyler Park, Tyler State Park, that I would like to get to. They do kayaking and stuff like that out of there, and that's been around for quite a while, and I want to go check that out too. Even though I was pretty close to it when I did the two videos I did yesterday, but I didn't want to push the memory of my phone by making a third video. I did bring my computer with me if I needed to download files and I needed space, but it was already getting to be a long day, and I had to get back to take care of Dad and make his dinner and stuff like that. Let's see. Um, Lived down the road from the high school, Ben Salem High School, and that old cemetery on Galloway. Yeah, yeah, and it looks like last time I went by there because I was just at what's that hall called right there? Celebrations. I was just there in the last few weeks, and when I went by that cemetery, it looks like they cleaned it up even more since I've been there. But they're not. They can't go too far back because of the trees that are growing. But there are, as I showed in that video, there are tombstones further back into the woods, or headstones, I should say, not tombstones. Um, and I've been told there's another graveyard not far from there that was remembered to be kind of like unkempt and overgrown and stuff like that. Um, and I got that from my friend Bob, my friend Marcy's dad, and he was telling me about that actually as we were at celebrations because it was for his granddaughter's sweet 16 party, which was a strange experience because on the invitation it said that everybody was to wear all black except for the birthday girl. Now, I've been told this is a new trend for Sweet 16 parties and stuff like that so that it makes them stand out more. Um, but not everybody was wearing all black. Now, I can understand her dad. He had on a pink tie and she was wearing pink and stuff like that. So, yeah, I get that. But a lot of her friends showed up wearing like colored ties and stuff like that. And here I am wearing all black. I'm like, what am I, Johnny Cash? What's going on here? It was, but it was a fun experience. Now I had a good time. Open bar, of course, which was always fun. Of course, we all know when they do open bars, they water things down. But we all know that. We get it. We expect that. But it was still a good time. I have some pictures because they had one of those little things where you can grab little props and everything and take pictures, and it prints them out for you, and it sends them to your phone. Um, I got some with me and Steph. I got some with me and some friends. So it was a good time. Celebrations is actually a pretty cool place. The outside is absolutely beautiful. That fountain they have out there, I took a picture of it actually, and I have it on my Facebook. And yeah. So anyway, how has everybody else been for the last week? Anybody do anything exciting? Anybody come up with any more ideas of places for me to check out? If so, you can always send them to me in a private message on my Facebook, facebook.com/This Is Tom's World, or just look up This Is Tom's World. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, down here, down in the description at the very bottom is a link to the Facebook. So you can, and you got it. I just got another notification. Another person has commented on my video in the Bucks County History group. They say I grew up right on. Yeah, I guess I mean like right near there, or maybe they hit the enter key before they finish their sentence. But I get it. Grew up right near there. Eastern State Penitentiary would be awesome. Would definitely be awesome. It's a place that I've never actually been. I was on the outside of it one time, but I never went inside. That would definitely be very cool. Secrets is a cool place in Ocean City, Maryland. I've been down in Maryland before. When Stephanie and I first got together, she was living in Maryland, and we went back and forth quite a bit. And I helped her clean out her apartment and everything, pack everything up. And we made it look as good as new when we were leaving. Like you'd never know somebody was even there for a while. Let's see. Does anyone else turn the radio down in the car to see better? No, it's not just you. Kate, don't worry. We all do stupid stuff like that. Like, all right, shut up. I'm looking for this thing. I get it. Went to Graffiti Highway in Ashland, PA before they covered it. Yeah, out near, oh my God, Centralia. Oh, I don't know why I was blanking on that. I would have liked to have seen that before they covered it up, but from what I understand, little by little, somebody's out there like uncovering it, or somebody's. The abandoned turnpike, yeah, I definitely would like to get there. A friend of mine who was doing a channel for a little while with exploring and stuff, but he's since been too busy doing other stuff in life. He actually went there, Kenny Biddle. He he got to go through one of the tunnels anyway. I think there's more than one along the abandoned stretch of the turnpike, but definitely a place I'd like to check out. And at some point, I will face my fears of heights, and I will get to Bowman's Tower as well, down in Washington's Crossing Park, State Park. Um, I have to at this point. It's come up way too much. Why did the golfer bring two pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one? I look at Kate with the dad jokes. Google's a wonderful thing, isn't it? That's where most of us get our dad jokes from anyway, online. They do get passed around amongst us, but you know. Your third check-in was dealing with a guest for Deadpool, about to head to the Unionville Inn for some New Trail State light beers. Selling for $2 for a 16 fluid ounce can. All right, Michael, will you enjoy those beers, man? I'm enjoying mine. One of these times we'll have to meet up there and we'll enjoy some together over there. That'd be cool. Newportville/Croydon at I-95 Turnpike was PH15 launch site. Bristol Plaza is now on the site. Nothing left from the Nike site remains. That sucks. Yeah, I hate when history goes away. I mean, I know progress, blah blah. Hey, we all love the dad jokes, you know. I've been a dad for 28, almost 29 years now, so I've earned that right to be able to disperse the dad jokes or dad joke type humor, which I do quite often. There used to be an airfield at Hughville and Street Road, where the Wawa shopping center is now, in the BK. Yeah, I did see that at some point. Um, and I think there was another one also here in far northeast Philly, not the far northeast Philly airport, but another one somewhere as well. I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. What's up, Patricia? How you doing? Tommy Pickle. Might as well put an S at the end of that. Tommy Pickles. That's like the kid from Rugrats. Man, you know, I so want to edit that video and put it out like quick, but I'm trying. I'm trying hard to hold on because I just put one up today, and I don't want to. I don't want to do back to back day after day. I don't want to start that precedent because I can't keep up with that. The Willow Grove Air Base. Um, isn't it shut down now though? Didn't they shut that down? I think. I don't know if they didn't. I don't know. I mean, if they did, then I don't know what they plan to do with it. I mean, it's a lot of real estate. What would really be cool, speaking of Willow Grove, if like somewhere around where the Willow Grove Mall is, if there was some remnant somewhere or remnant somewhere on the property of the Willow Grove amusement park. But as far as I know from people I've talked to, there's nothing. Airfields at Red Line and the Boulevard, up around Bustleton and Thomaston too. Okay, yeah, I did see pictures of it somewhere. I remember seeing that. You do know of a haunted hotel in Cape May, New Jersey. Apparently, the fourth floor is haunted. Is it an active hotel or is it abandoned? I've also heard that Hershey Park can be haunted. I've never been inside of Hershey Park. I went to Hershey World, the building that's just off to the side of it. I've been there a few times, and at least a couple times, or maybe three times. And every time me and Stephanie go there, we have to go on that little free ride that you can go on, and at the end you get like a little Hershey bar. It's fun. We make fun of it the whole way. But I did show some of that on one of my videos this past winter. Because I did a few videos where me and Stephanie just went traveling into the Poconos and different portions of PA and Jersey too, and that was one of them. And I showed part of that ride. Let's see, have you ever seen the new Beetlejuice trailer? There's actually two or three of them out now. But I've seen them all, yes, because I am anxiously awaiting seeing that movie as well. You were in the lobby and it's active? Okay. See, now if it's active, I could quite possibly go in there, but I don't know that they'd let me up on the fourth floor unless I was a guest. But I am not a paranormal investigator, so. But if I ever did catch anything, then that would be cool. I mean, the only things that have happened while I've been recording videos is once, and this can easily be explained away. Once when I was at the garden and I was doing a live feed from the garden at the Chamonix State Mall, or the Chamonix State Park, the Chamonix State Mall. What the hell am I thinking? Um, the beers must be hitting me earlier. Um, but I swear to God, I heard somebody say Tom, and it sounded like it came from just outside the garden, and nobody was around the garden. Now there was a lot of people in the park at the time, so it can be explained away there. But another thing that happened is, I think it was in the first of two videos that I did, where I was looking for like an underground burial crypt over near the Delaware, near Penryn Mansion, and I think it was the first one. As I was walking through the woods, I heard clear as a bell, and it sounded like it came from right behind me. I just, I kind of slowed down my walk, and I slowly turned around. I expected to see some dude just like with an axe, like, but there was nobody there. So those are the only paranormal things that have happened in my journeys so far. Um, Never actually been in a haunted anything besides feeling like someone's here at home. Yeah. And there have been times where, like, where you're just dozing off and you could swear somebody just like whispered in your ear. You're like, And there's been times where I'm sitting here when I don't have my air on and the door closed, and I swear I'll hear like a woman's voice, and I go downstairs and it's just my dad, and he's like half sleeping. So, yeah. Has anything been worked on at that old mansion you went to near Neshaminy? Oh, Croydon Lodge. Um, I haven't heard anything new about it. I know that the people that own it came to a standstill because of fund issues. Because when a place is on the registry, you can't use like new materials and stuff like that. You have to use the original. Uh, like if they used a certain type of wood, stuff like that. I know they wanted to make it into a bed and breakfast at some point. That's a lot of work, and I haven't been by there recently to see it myself, but I haven't heard anything. So that's Jimmy haunting you, calling your name. No, it was a female's voice, and when I did that, actually, Jim was still here, so it wouldn't have been him unless his ghost can travel in time. And man, that's a frightening thought. My dad was alone at the cemetery where his family is, no one around, and he heard people talking. Yeah, I've heard it myself in the garden when I've gone there at Neshaminy State Park. When I go there in the rain sometimes, and I'm just there by myself, like when I wasn't working there, and I would just stand there in the rain. I got my umbrella. I could hear a man's voice and a woman's voice, and nobody else was in the park. My car was the only car in the parking lot, and I remember saying out loud, "Well, come closer. I can't hear you." Never did. Nick said he's free in an hour. How much does he cost right now? See another dad joke? You go, I got it. Neshaminy Mall is about to be destroyed. Well, half of Neshaminy Mall is about to be destroyed. Um, the owners had mentioned something about keeping half of it for something. I don't know. I didn't go into the story too much, but I did see that they were talking about keeping half of the mall and then destroying the other half, and they're going to be making like apartments or something there. But the days of the malls are going away. We have our malls right here in front of us. My computer, my phone, tablets, whatever. That's a mall. It pales in comparison to the experience that we had at malls back in the 70s, 80s, even the 90s. But what are you going to do? Times change, things change. They all suck. It could have been the trees talking to me. You don't know. Maybe I'm the Lorax. Maybe I speak for the trees. The big stores are staying. Okay. And the AMC. So that's the half of the mall that they're going to keep. So I guess, well, wait, because Boscov's is on the other side of the mall. Wait a minute. Or is that where the movie theater is? Getting a little. No. Man, it's been too long since I've been to the Neshaminy Mall. That's what the problem is. Hey, Ray, what's going on? Trying to remember where the movie theater is. That that's not the same side that Boscov's is on, right? Or is that even still Boscov's? I don't know. That's right. That's right. Everyone, make sure you hit that like button. It's like right down here somewhere. It looks like a little thumb going like that. Make sure you hit that. And if you're not already subscribed, please make sure you do. Once you're subscribed, please hit that notification bell. That way you'll be sure to be notified when I upload new videos or when I go live, which I do pretty much every Monday around 7-ish. I say all that in my videos, so it's like just pre-programmed up there. Let's see. Never thought I'd see the day malls die. No, no. And I still miss the 49th Street Galleria. I'm sorry, I do. I miss the old days of Franklin Mills. Now the whole thing could be torn down, and I would be happier than a pig in stuff. Love the old experiences at the Chamonix Mall. Yeah, Roy Rogers. Ray saying hi to everybody. He's not doing much. He's chilling tonight. AMC is next to Boscov's, but you still got to walk that hallway. Okay. So it's probably the other end of the mall down where, like, where the bookstore is, the Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. That's probably the half that's getting torn down then. Philly steak for Din Din? No. No. Movies is on the Sears side. Oh. Uh, no, I made Dad some pork chops with mashed potatoes and green beans that had garlic and butter in it. I let him eat the pork chops, most of them. I had to taste test them, but for the most part, I just had the mashed potatoes and the green beans, and I just mixed them all together. It was good. It's both. AMC has two entrances. Oh, you're already at the Humeville Inn, and you have your new Trail State Light beer. Well, cheers, Mike. Happy Monday to you. AMC can either enter from Sears or Boscov's. Hmm. Yeah, I still say one of these days I gotta. I don't know. Maybe I gotta take a day off or something on a Wednesday. I can't take Saturdays off right now. Maybe in the winter I could take Saturdays off, but I got to get to the Ben Salem Historical Society, and I know they're only open on like Wednesdays and Saturdays, other than special requests. Um, I got to go through their binders of pictures from Sorovia again, and I've been saying that just about every week when we get on here. Nick, what's going on, Pickle Nick? As he would say, Pickle Tom. Over the past weekend, Mom and I had onion rings. You had onion rings, did you? I wish I still had that picture. I looked everywhere for it. I can't find it. It's around somewhere. Well, now I'll tell you what. It's just I picture Ray sitting there with the onion ring that's like this big in his mouth going around his face like that. It was a picture I had of him. I got you grabbing a beer. I got you grabbing a beer. I have a beer every time I do this live feed, Chris. What are you talking about? Tony B, what's going on, brother? You heard that the Ben Salem Country Club is turning their building nearest the driving range into a museum of sorts. What would be great is if they turned it into a museum to commemorate Standish Ford Hansel, which is the guy that owned that property, and he also owned the property where Dinosaur Lake is slash was, um, and he was the owner of the barn. So all that stuff that was inside the barn had to go somewhere, and he collected all that stuff. So as far as I know, and that would be great if it was something in homage to him. You usually smoke? Yeah, well, you move too fast and you start smoking. You got to calm down and just be chill. You can take that any way you want to, pervertedly, whatever. Not that it was meant that way. Cold beer from a bottle tastes elite compared to cold can. No, I don't like canned beer. I mean, I'll drink beer out of a can. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn down a beer. And sometimes when I go to like barbecues and stuff like that, yeah, I'll just grab like a 12 pack of Miller Lite or something in cans. But I prefer a bottle. Actually, I prefer draft in a bar. But hey, when it comes to this, is Tom's world like a good neighbor. That's right. It's like a good neighbor. We are here. That's right. Come on. Usually have my cold beer from drought, especially if it's Guinness. Yeah, I've I'm not, and this makes me a really bad Irishman, I guess. But I don't really like Guinness. There's just something in the. It's not the taste as much as it is the thickness. No perverted comments on that one. But yeah, I don't know. With a lot of beers, it's the taste. Like a lot of people like these IPAs and stuff like that. I don't like IPAs. There's too much hops in them, and it causes me to get heartburn. Some of them are tasty. Don't get me wrong, but like too much of it, and the heartburn starts up. Huh. Keystone Rangers. Tom, did you grow up near Byberry Hospital? Yeah, not far. Not far at all, actually. If I were to get in my car and drive, I would be there in less than 10 minutes. Lights included and everything. But I do have quite a few videos throughout, like Benjamin Rush State Park, which is where part of Byberry was, and I do show some what remains of it. There is still one whole building left from Byberry that's currently in use, and it's like kind of like a kinder care, something kinder college. I forget what it's called, but they refurbished it, but it still has the Byberry look to it. It just looks brand new, which is weird. Canned beer is not fresh. That's the thing, Nick. Canned beer tastes good when fresh. I mean, even with a bottle on a hot day, you get down to like here, it's going to start getting warm if you're outside, especially. But yeah. Wait, you've heard of Byberry Hospital? Nick, I have tons of videos on it. Go look. I think I might even have a playlist on my channel. Oh, yeah, now you got me looking. Let me go see. I think I did make a playlist. Well, there's one for Benjamin Rush State Park. All right, maybe I didn't make a playlist for Byberry. I should. I definitely should. But I mean, Nick, if you just go onto my channel and you search for Byberry or Philadelphia State Hospital, which is what it was called, um, you can see what remains of Byberry. And I do, on some of them, I do show older pictures and stuff like that. So let's see, Townsend Road by chance? I don't know. I don't live there. I live closer to Franklin Mills. And I'm not going to call it Philadelphia Mills, but I live closer to Franklin Mills. And no, not Parkwood. A lot of people, that's the first thing out of their mouth when I say I live close to Franklin Mills. Oh, Parkwood? No. Never lived in Parkwood, never will. Not going to happen. Other side. But yeah, close. I like canned Coke compared to bottled. It's more gassy in the bottle. That's soda. Well, depending on where you are in the world, sometimes it's called pop, or it's even pronounced different, like pop. But we call it soda here, and that's way different of a beast than beer. I was able to walk the old abandoned Byberry East buildings from the Parkwood soccer field by cutting across the remains, the prison farm. Yeah, and that's another place that I got to get to because they started building that warehouse. I mentioned months ago that I saw somewhere that they were planning on building a warehouse in the area next to the Amazon building, which would have been closer to where the abandoned prison farm was. And the walls of this thing are monstrous, monstrously tall. Um, because I did cruise by there at one point, but they were working, so I just kind of did the circle around what is that, Townsend Road there or whatever, um, or McNulty or whatever that is right there. But I'm curious to see if they went in and destroyed any of that prison farm. If they did, I'm going to be quite pissed, to be honest, because that was like a nice little hidden thing, history kind of deal. I mean, it was already mostly falling apart anyway, but I heard the remaining building at Byberry is haunted. Like the one that's left, it wouldn't. It listen, if ghosts are a real thing, and I'm not disproving or proving them in any way, um, I would have to guess that the tortured souls that lived at Byberry Hospital, yeah. And the reason why they were on two different sides of the road of Route One, Roosevelt Boulevard, even before it was Route One, there was a road going across, which is why they had the footbridge that went across the boulevard, which is now gone, sadly, because they're making warehouses there too with monstrously tall walls. Was like one side of the road was the men's section, and the other side of the road was the women's section. And then when they got rid of the side of the road where Benjamin Rush State Park is, which is the park that I take care of and I mow and all that stuff, um, then they moved men and women into the other side. Oh, Nick, I could go on and on about Byberry. I do know some stuff. I'm not one of the most knowledged persons in this. I've known people who were more so knowledged in this, former friends and stuff like that. But we could talk about it, and I could tell you some stuff. I've seen some pictures and stuff. It's not fun. Let's see. I recycle pop and beer cans. See, he calls it pop, not soda. There are only two buildings left at Byberry. Byberry East 6 on the east side, and the nurses' building, which is now self-help. Well, yeah, there's one building. I think it's on McNulty Road, so it's on the other side of the boulevard from the self-help center. Past Benjamin Rush, the first left you make, you go down there, heading down towards the community college, and I think it's on the left. Uh, okay, you look like a guy I knew back in the day, nicknamed Ripper. No, that no, maybe as an old man now, I might be called that for other reasons. But no, I look different now than I used to back in the day. I was a bit thinner. You know, I didn't have the round face and the double chin, and at certain points, I had long hair and stuff like that. Um, but I always get that, like I look like somebody. That's been my whole life. A non-native park woodian we refer to use as the other siders too. I would say to them, "Damn it, Beavis! How many pickles could a pickle Tom pick if a pickle Tom picked pickles with his pickle pick?" I'm glad that didn't have an R in it. That last word that would have been different. Yeah, Chris Mallon, this guy. Where is it on this side? Oh Christ! There we go. This guy. He's been to Byberry quite a bit too, wandering around in the buildings. Hmm. Yeah, the Kinder College. Exactly. That's what it was called. I knew it was Kinder something. I knew it was. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, they refurbished that whole thing. I think my friend Kenny Biddle had told me that he used to go in there when before it was bought, and him and his friends played like paintball wars in there. I think it was Kenny that told me that. Old pictures of Tom for sale from Woodstock '99. That was a good time, from what I remember. Oh yeah, you don't want any pictures of you from there. Uh, yeah, there's plenty of pictures floating around. I think Hercom had a bunch of them. I think Pete had some. If only we had these back then, right? Would have been a far different game then. The Woodstock '99 was it was fun. It was fun. Had a good time. Saw a lot of things I've never seen before or since. Um, I tell you though, you you don't want to see the elderly walking around naked. It's not a pretty picture. I mean, for as proud as they were, and that aspect was beautiful. Yeah. Oh, you have pictures too, huh? Yeah, well, I didn't bring a camera. I wasn't there to record the occasion. I was just there to be part of it. And anytime I see like any kind of documentary or something about Woodstock '99, I'm sitting there watching it diligently, like looking at the crowd pictures and everything, like or the footage. I'm like, I gotta find one of us in here. I mean, the chances of that happening are very slim with the amount of people that were there, but still, somewhere. Yeah, do you remember them, Chris? There was like an old couple walking, holding hands. Oh, I have a picture of uh, what farms in the city bought. Oh, so before it was Byberry Hospital. Yeah, I think what was it, 1908 when they made the hospital, something like that. And it was all based off of Benjamin Rush's theories of medicine, basically mental health. Anyone here going to fish Mondegreen down in Dover while we were talking concerts? You'll see my company offices all over the venue. Cool. Where was I for the original Woodstock, Nick? I was born in 1975. I wasn't anywhere. I was inside of my dad and my mom. Yeah, it's a pickle seed. Yeah, the blow up doll. Yeah. So we when we got there, there wasn't a whole at Woodstock '99. There wasn't a whole lot of tents set up yet. I mean, there was a decent amount. Don't get me wrong, but nowhere near what it became to be because we got there early on Friday, and and it went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and before we left the tent, we had noticed that somebody put up this really, really long pole, and instead of having a flag at the top, they had a blow up doll, a blow up sex doll, like just waving from it. Thank God for that, because we would have never found our tent in the altered state of mind that we were in at the end of Friday night. There is no way we would have found that tent without that sex doll. 1907. Okay. I wasn't anywhere either. I was born in '95. Wow. So you're 20 years younger than I, which makes you 29 or 28. Wow. You're like almost the same age as my son. How about that? Tommy will be 29 in December. Wow. That's weird. Or 28. I don't know. I can't do the math right now. Born in '93. Nick, I graduated high school in '93. Oh man, George Clinton is where we got toasted. It was like right before Hercom made that little deal and trades and stuff like that. And yeah, yeah. And then we went through that rave, and we all got separated. Yeah, thank God for that blow up doll. Wow, 29 in October. You know what? He'll be 28. I had to think about that. He was born in 96. I was 21. So, but you're basically the same age as my son. So that makes me feel old. Your dad's 58. My dad's 75. So is my mom. They're both still here, though. Alive and well and kicking. Cool. Watching the Phillies losing. Yeah. You know what I like to do with those touch tune things and those like they all when you're in bars and stuff, they all have an app that you can download. And I'll buy some stuff when I'm there, some credits and everything. And then before I leave, I'll play the dumbest thing, like something from like a musical or something like that, so that I can hear it just as it starts as I'm going out the door and everybody else has to listen to it. It's fun. You were 29 at Woodstock? Well, I was 20, 24. Yeah, I was 24. Yep. It was me, him, and two of our other friends. Of course you do, Nick. Wow, I just looked up and I've gone for over an hour. This is the first over an hour one that I've done in a little while. My go-to song that I play on Touch Tunes is "Gods of War" by Def Leppard. Yeah, but like when you're about ready to leave, like put in like "Funny Girl" or something like that, and like I mean, like something from like the '50s or something like that, or I don't know, find some really really obscure song that people are just going to go, "Who the hell played this?" That's the fun part. Oh yeah, the end, Chris. That was crazy. What was it? The No, we left while the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing. We were like up at the front for Megadeth, and like water bottles were being thrown up at the stage, kept hitting us and stuff. I remember that. Best local cover band in Philly area are my dear friends Triple Rail Turn. It's all over your channel. That's very cool. We'll have to go back and sub to your channel, man. I was just talking earlier that I was at Nick's Roast Beef Woodhaven this past weekend, seeing a cover band that a guy I know is in called Old School, and they do like mostly like '80s, '90s rock kind of stuff, mostly '80s hair bands and stuff like that. It's really cool, and it's definitely an experience. And the guy Paul that I know, he has his own podcast called The P Word, so you guys can go check that out. It's Paul and his friend Jim, and they sometimes have me on, not often, but like I am usually in the comments. Um, but cool people though. Them knocking the porta potty porta potty over with people in them. Yeah, well, that happens at a lot of these like 3 day concerts and stuff. People get rowdy at the end. Yeah, Nick's is cool. I like Nick's. Um, me and Stephanie do our date nights there quite often. Any Corey Feldman fans in the room? I mean, you mean for his acting or his singing? Because his singing, no, 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 not really. The roles he's played, I've quite enjoyed, like throughout the '80s and '90s and stuff like that. He's a very strange person now, though. I understand he's been through a lot, but it's kind of crazy. Oh wait, Corey, yeah, Corey Feldman. I still believe I'm related to Corey Feldman because of my damn last name too. Well, does that mean I'm related to Rand McNally? Because if I am, I'm missing some money here, man. I'm hurting for money. We should have Tom do a live tour of Washington Crossing State Park with the American Battlefield Trust's Gary Aldman. Um, I wouldn't be opposed. The only issue when I go into parks and wooded areas and I try to do lives is when I go back and watch them after I've done them, the quality is not really all that great because the signal is weak. I mean, I have Verizon, so I mean or not Verizon. I have T-Mobile. Verizon's what I have for cable. Um, I have T-Mobile, so it should be a decent signal. But even at Neshaminy State Park, I don't get that great of a signal. Oh, I've been to Gettysburg. I actually did a video. Was it in was it 2022? I think um, when my buddy Dom and I went there for our page BB3 TV, and we had a table set up and everything. We were at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, which was at the Wyndham Hotel. Um, but I couldn't leave because I had to stay at the table. Everybody else who was supposed to be at the table was not. It was just me and Stephanie. But and yeah, I'm gonna complain about that till the day I die because they got to go out places. They went to the battlefield while I sat there at the table and stuff like that. But I really would have liked to have seen the battlefield and like uh, what's that round top they call it, like where that one rock is, and you can watch the sunset and all that. I didn't get to see any of that. Yeah, they used to do a Gettysburg reenactment at Neshaminy State Park. It was stopped years ago by that particular park manager because one, he didn't really like them to begin with, but that wouldn't have been enough to stop them from coming. But they not only blatantly were showing that they were drinking there. You're not supposed to drink in a state park. You know, there's no alcohol allowed. But one guy on social media actually called out, like, what happens if you actually hit a park ranger at Neshaminy State Park? That was it. They were done. Never got to come back. But little round top, big round top. Yeah. Christmas morning at Washington Crossing. Yeah, they do it there. They do it there twice around that time. Once is on actually on Christmas, and then once is like the weekend before, the weekend after. I think it's the weekend before, um, unless it happens to fall on a weekend, I guess. But I think they do it another time a year too. I just can't remember. I seem to remember reading that somewhere. But yeah, I would be all about recording that. I mean, doing a live would be great, but if only if I had the good quality, and I can't guarantee that. Yeah, a lot of people were sorry to see that reenactment gone, but the people that were part of it are the ones that ruined it. You know, they knew what the rules were, and I was even told by some people who've been coming to the park for a long time that the early on reenactors that would come there, they're the ones that stole the statues out of the garden that used to be there. And if that's true, then that's not cool at all. Not cool at all. So I have a funny story at Neshaminy State Park 9 years ago with a Mustang club. We all got together and just for a hangout. Okay. Some people got out of hand and we all got pulled over by park rangers. Yep. They're no joke, but well, it depends. 9 years ago, let's see. 9 years ago, that might have been when the one real hardcore ranger was on board. Dude was no joke at all. Um, I can't remember what his name was for the life of me, but I've heard stories. I don't know the guy, but yeah, it was no joke back then. Now, uh, you know, I won't comment. I have my opinions, but I work there, so I can't comment. Uh, when are we going to see an episode of This Is Tom's World at a propane factory? Find me one. We definitely do got to do a kayak trip. Um, from the pool club on Knights Road. Wow, that might be tough because some of the areas of the Pequescent Creek get real shallow, so it would have to be on a high tide thing. But we definitely have got to go to Burlington Island. I've got to do that. That's got to be at least a 2 or 3 days in a row kind of thing that we got to do at some point, preferably in the fall. One guy said to the park ranger, "You're not a cop." No, they're not. But in that park, they are the authority. There is no higher authority than the park manager. And right down from the park manager are the rangers, especially the ones that are full rangers that have weapons on them and stuff. Yeah, you don't mess with them, you know. Carol says, wanted to check in. I'm in Western Ohio tonight. Wow. Watching me from on the other side of the state, like past the other side of the state. That's awesome. Well, there's plenty of places that sell propane, Nick, but you said a propane factory. I've never heard of one, but if you can find me one that's a drivable distance for me, sure, I'll go do it. And you can be assured that throughout the whole thing, I will be talking like this. Now, I'll tell you what. Because my kayaks are right there at the storage on nights by the pool club. Cool. I've seen snakes running around the park and just hell yelp. Oh, Michael says Aaron Judge just hit his second home run against the Fighting Phillies. All right. What's up, Scott? How you doing? Yes, yes. That sign's actually been up for quite a while. Park of the year. Um, we got wind of that back in the winter that we got Park of the Year. And what did we get for it? We got that sign and we got a wooden bowl. Yeah, a wooden bowl. So if you go into the park office, just the other side of the window on the little table that's there, there's a little wooden bowl that spins around. My boss set that up so that he could have it spinning around. That was what we got for being Park of the Year. You might try a kayak trip tomorrow. Well, I can't help you with that, man. I'll be working. I'll be getting up at 5:30 a.m. and then in work by 7. Northeast Propane Corporation, a division of Gas Tech. You gotta be kidding me. I have to see if they give tours or something. Now I'll tell you what. This is Tom's World, and we're going to take a look at this propane factory. Sounds good, Chris. Wow. Almost an hour and a half into this, and I'm still maintaining the double digits of you guys. You guys are awesome. This is completely into it. Just a quick question for those of you who are watching this on YouTube: have any of you seen any ads since you've been here? I'm just curious because I don't know how that works on the other end when I do a live, and nobody ever says anything. You'll go dressed like Hank Hill. Let's see. Michael says, "Cool video I watched yesterday. The video of the refurbishment of cannons at the Gettysburg, hosted by Gary Altman of the American Battlefield Trust. That's cool. Well, if you have premium, of course you're not going to see ads. I'm not famous, Lori. I'm local famous, you know? And not even so, because Nick's roast beef, it literally walking distance from my house. I go there. I think only 3 times that I've been there, and I go there a lot, have people recognize me. Once it was a woman, and I was drinking that night, and I was just like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." Another time on the way out, there was some dude who's like, "Hey man, love your videos." I'm like, "Cool, thanks." And then there was Paul Adler from Old School. So that's it. You know what's weird though? They say with YouTube Premium you don't get ads. Somehow I still get revenue from YouTube Premium. It's very very minuscule and small, but somehow I do, and I don't get that. How am I getting ad revenue from people that aren't getting ads? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get recognized too often. I mean, sporadically here and there. Most of the times I've been recognized was while I was working at the Chamonix State Park, and like people would be talking to me, and they go, "Wait a minute, are you Tom?" Yeah. Of course, a lot of people who are there came across the videos after they got to know me, and they're like, "Ah, yeah, you got a YouTube channel." I'm like, "Yeah, it's good times." Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure. You're getting a portion of the premium monthly payment. Oh, okay, that's cool. You know what? I was just about to wrap it up, but you know what? I might as well wait until I'm finished this beer here. It's about halfway gone. You ever do a video on the Nazis in Vincennes? I think there's a plaque there at the location. Uh, where? I mean, I know there was that German club, of which we both know about, that was on the premise of the Chamonix State Park, but I don't know where the plaque would be that you're talking about. You're not monetized on YouTube. Listen. It took me. I started my channel in February of 2020, and it took me until March of 2023 to get monetized. I don't make a whole lot. I've only had a few, like a small handful of payments since then, and it's been well over a year because you don't get paid out until you reach $100, and then they only do it like once a month. So, but I mean, it's cool for like building yourself up. Like like wow, I've gotten to that point, and and for me, like looking at the fact that I have what is it? Let me see, 2,219 subscribers. That also builds me up. When I see that, I'm like, man, it's a lot of people that just enjoy watching the videos that I make, and that makes me feel really, really good because I'm doing something right. And and the fact that people enjoy watching it just it literally, and I know it's going to sound corny, but it literally warms my heart to to see all the interaction that I get and all the different comments that I get, and all the different people who constantly are here for my live feeds. I mean, the one time I said in recent times that I wasn't going to do a live feed, people seem to be upset about it. So I'm trying my best to not not skip out on a Monday night live feed. Um, but let's see. Let me get back to these before I start babbling too much. Get back to these comments. Uh, Chris is walking around to go get some more beer. Salem Harbor, the apartments. I didn't see a plaque there. I'll have to go back and check it out. Yeah, well, I have my merch store too. Um, Down in the description, you can go check it out. You said, look, this is something from the merch shop. And Lori, she's got multiple shirts. Hey Rob, what's going on? Says Yo Tom. What an awesome video today. I didn't know that was there. Yeah, a lot of people said that. And I find that a lot with things that I find. Like people will say, like even just with the garden at Neshaminy State Park, people will be like, man, I walked past this thing so many times. I never cared what it was. I didn't know what it was. They had no idea the history of the Logans and Sorovia and all that. And it's great. It's great to be able to pass on the information that I find so that that history doesn't die. Best ones besides Tom with a merch store on YouTube is Sleeve. Sleeve did it and Jim Cornette's Experience. Cool. You got to check out my merch shop, people. It's down there in the description. Just go check it out. See if there's something you like. Buy it. Prices are always low in my merch shop. Street Speed 717 from right here in PA. Lance Stewart and in New Jersey. Two good YouTubers. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't met too many YouTubers. I mean, I met Squeeze the Day, which they have since gone from being local to worldwide. Um, I met I knew Kenny and Donna Biddle from K&D Adventures, and I met the Philly Captain once. But we're going to be doing a collaboration video in the fall. He would like to go to Dinosaur Lake, so we're going to do that. I think that's about it as far as YouTube. Oh no! Wait, I met Rustic Ventures. I got to meet both Kathy and her husband, uh, which was really cool, and her son. All right, Chris, I probably won't be. It's not going to take me long to finish this one. Nazi saboteurs. You have to get more. Well, then, Lori, go buy the whole line of This Is Tom's World gear. I mean, there are hats, there's shirts, there's hoodies, there's coffee mugs, there's the water things and the hot coffee things, and then pillows and aprons, buttons, magnets. There's all kinds of stuff up there. Go buy the whole line for every design. Just go down and buy. I'd be all right with that. Meanwhile, I'm dumbfounded how my TikTok has blown up to 1,000 followers by just posting videos making fun of Biden. TikTok is a totally different thing. Um, I just can't get into it. I will watch TikTok like at the end of the night when I lay down in bed after I set my alarm and I send my good night message to Stephanie. I'll breeze through TikTok for a little while and then I'll just be like, all right, I'm going to sleep. I just can't get into making them. I don't know. Same with like YouTube shorts though. Like I mean, I know I have some YouTube shorts, and it's usually just me saying good morning to people. But yeah, I like the long form content, and I like the YouTube experience more than TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. During World War II, met Chip Foose at an American Muscle Car show a few years back. That's pretty cool. I don't know who he is, but that's pretty cool. When was this ever about money? For me, it never really was. Um, but I will say that it helps because I really don't make a lot of money. Truth be told, I just kind of scrape by um, after paying the bills and stuff like that. And I don't make enough to save anything. So it's like paycheck to paycheck kind of deal. And I know that that's the way it is for a lot of people. And I'm not complaining about it. I mean, at least I have a job. Um, but the extra little bit that I get once in a while from YouTube, it does help. Come on. Met Bradley Cooper at AMC for his private showing of A Star Is Born. That's cool. You got to meet a local boy that turned celebrity. That's a good thing. Chip Frews from the show Overhaul. Never saw that either. Always cool to meet well-known people, though. I mean, I've always appreciated it. Like local radio station, WMGK 102.9. Uh, one of the DJs on there, one of the more well-known DJs on there, Andre Gardner. I got to meet him and talk to him. I went to the bonfire last year that they did, and we talked for a little bit. That was cool. You know, I mentioned the channel. I don't know if he subscribed, but I get to plug in for the channel wherever I can. Without being obnoxious with it, really. But yeah, I do what I can. There you go. Yeah, it's always cool meeting the DJs. Wow, the Woodhaven Sports Center. That place no longer exists. Yeah, I would have loved to have met Chris Farley. That would have been great. Anyway, I have finished my beer, and we are at an hour and 36 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out. You guys are awesome. We were in the double digits pretty much the entire time, since like 5-10 minutes in, and you guys are totally awesome for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please do make sure that you continue to support the channel by watching the videos. I see your comment, Scott. Ben Salem factory Nazi target during World War II. Wow. Carl Laveau. Oh, he did an article on it. I'll have to look that up. He did an article with me in it too. um, yeah, yeah, you could look that up too. But anyway, so thank you again, everybody. Make sure you continue to support the channel by watching the videos, commenting on the videos, liking the videos, share them out if you can, or the channel itself to anybody that you think might like it. Um, and make sure you check out the merch shop. And when we do these lives, you could always do a super chat or super sticker if you want to donate any money. Yeah, YouTube takes out its little portion, but I get most of it, so it doesn't matter. Thanks, Nick, for saying great show. I try. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you all later. So make sure you all stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.